Hello and welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today is my weekly whip and chat, and if you are not familiar with that, that is a work in progress. I am going to be working on actually kitting up a diamond painting, so that's why what you're looking at now looks a little different. But I am going to be kitting up a mystery canvas from Jaded Gem Shop, and this was from fall of last year. It is a 45 by 60 and it is a square diamond painting. There are 46 colors in this, so not very bad. And this is all that you can see on the actual stickers here. I will definitely be using the stickers. I'm going to use my Elizabeth Ward containers, and I'm also going to take the time on this to put washi down so that hopefully my stickers will not be a problem getting off. The last Jaded Gem Shop that I did, it took me forever to get the stickers off, and I'm not complaining about that or anything. I'm just stating a fact that it took me a long time, and so I want to kind of alleviate that if at all possible. I am using a funnel, and this is from Bella Art de Nicole. I love my funnels. I just use them quite often. And then I'm going to have my small little scissors, and basically that's about it. And then this washi, this just came from Michael's years ago. I hope that it is okay and that it still is sticky. As washi gets older, it does tend to lose its stick on the back. So I definitely have some that I need to either use or I'm going to have to dump pretty soon. So grab something that you want to work on and let's get started kitting this up. I am not going to be showing you the canvas because you can tell what it is. I already knew what it was anyway from last year, but I'm also doing this for Mystery Mania event, and that is through Diamonds and Dragonflies Patreon group. You have to be a Patreon member in order to be part of the mystery. I think that is only $5 if you want to do just the mystery and not anything else, but you'll have to check with Heather of Diamonds and Dragonflies on that. I will put her information underneath the description. But I did take off the cover. The cover was a black cover sheet, and I took all of it off. I have replaced it with just cover release papers that are white. I numbered them. I think there's 36. I did have another one that I was starting on for the event, and then decided that that wasn't going to work out very well because it had 109 sections. It was huge. It had over 90 colors, and honestly, it was a lot of color blocking. Well, it was some, I shouldn't say a lot. It was some color blocking. It was actually more confetti, which I'm okay with the confetti. It was starting to look really good too. I'm not going to stop doing it. I am just going to wait a little bit and get back to that one so I can work on this one. With Jade, if you have not purchased a Jaded Gem Shop canvas before, her drills do come in these baggies, and they're the small baggies. They are in order, which is good, because at one point they were not, and so you just had to kind of take all of them apart, figure out what went with what, and then hope for the best. But this one is in order. I'm hoping that I can use more of my medium or smaller containers. I do have some large ones, so I have some extra containers that I did purchase, which does make it nice. That barely fits, so that's good. That way I know exactly what will fit in these. And I'm not doing this in order. I don't know if we will get this finished by the end of my whip and chat because I'm not really sure what all I have to say today. I don't really have a whole lot that happened this past week, which that's a good thing. That's a bad thing. I mean, it's a bad thing because I don't have anything to really report, but it's a good thing because nothing really happened. So that was definitely a plus. Now, one thing on this one, I don't know. Okay, this is good. I'm just going to keep the number on of the number of the schematic, although that's the wrong number. Already I'm messing up. Let's see. This is 3831. I put 3832 on here. And I don't know if I can get this off. All right, let's put this over here. This is 3831. Okay. So, already screwing up today because I'm not paying attention. I can diamond paint better than I can kit up when I'm talking for some reason. With the stickers, it does have the number of the schematic, and then it has the symbol, and then it has the actual DMC. I am just going to keep the number on there. Normally I don't, but I think it's going to be okay because it all fits. I'm going to take some of these out. I really need to clean some of these up. I used this right before our move, and so it's not the cleanest that it could be. So I can clean it as I go. And let's go ahead. When I get to 3832, I can pull that one up. 3803 has 2 bags, so I'm going to have to get the bigger one. So how is everybody doing? Let me know in the comments how you are doing. I think, because these are 2 big ones, I hate to use this really big one, but I don't have very many of these. Let's see if this is going to work. But let me know how you guys are doing. What are you working on? Have you gone all out, ready for fall? All of the canvases that I'm really working on, right now, the ones I'm working on are for events. And they're pretty much all fallish, which I think that's really cool. This mystery canvas, the way that the event works is that Heather will have random numbers that she will post on Saturday mornings, and we can only do the numbers that she posts. And then if we don't have anything, then we're done for that week. So that's one reason why I also decided, because I had the one I was working on, I thought this is going to be too much, because, you know, she was calling anywhere from 5 to 8 numbers a week. I think it reduces, it seems like, with each week. Like the first week it was more during the week, on the first week of the month, and it's reduced. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, because this is the first time I've done this. But I was spending so much time the last 2 weeks on my canvas because I had so many numbers, and all the ones that she was calling were numbers that I could do, which was a good thing. But it kind of messed me up spending so much time on that particular canvas and not on my other ones. So because of that, I thought, well, this just isn't going to work, because I'm going to get sucked into this canvas, which I knew I would, because I was already getting really interested in it. I'm going to get sucked into this canvas. I'm not getting any of the other canvases done that I really wanted to focus on. So because of that, I decided, I knew that I had this canvas in my stash somewhere. And I knew that, I knew I had it. I knew what it looked like, but I could not find it. And I kept looking and looking. I've got all my diamond paintings are currently in the garage right now, which is okay. That's where I'm planning on keeping them. But the problem with that was my husband put them up for me, and I was trying to do a little bit of inventorying on my canvases whenever we first moved here, and then I thought that I had done most of them, and then he started putting things up, moving things around in the garage, and then I lost count of the ones I've done, what I haven't, and then he just started putting them up on the shelf, and then I went in there and I've been rummaging through them, and Now they're all messed up, and I finally found this one. I knew the box it was in and everything. I just couldn't find it. So I decided that I would work on that other one, and I thought, well, it'll be okay. I'll just work on that one. And it was okay, but the third week, which was this week, I sat down to do it on Sunday, and I thought, man, I'm going to spend so much time on this, and I've got to, because I have so many sections. If I don't, then I am not going to ever get this finished. So I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. I thought, well, I'm going to look. And then yesterday, my husband decided that he was going to finally install some lights in the garage. We had 2 lights in there. They were not very bright at all, which was another reason why I had a hard with my diamond paintings. So yesterday or Saturday, he went to Home Depot and bought these really bright lights, which is very nice. I am very thankful for them. They are very bright. He has all the lights up there except for the one that's right where I'm going to keep my diamond paintings. And that one, he's going to have to do some additional electrical work. He's an electrician, so that is definitely a plus for us. And so he's going to do that this coming weekend. And then once that's done, then I can easily see my diamond paintings, and I'm going to start getting them in order. I have a semi-plan of how I want to do it, but if you have your diamond paintings, if you have some kind of a system that you use, I would love to hear about it, of how you store them, specifically how you know where they are. I mean, if you put them in your closet, it's like, okay, how do you know where each of them are? Do you have a certain system? Like, do you put all of your flower diamond paintings together, or your dragons or fantasy or whatever that you like to work on? Do you put those together? Do you store by size? Do you keep them in the boxes? Do you take them out of the boxes? I need to know all the things, because I really want to get organized, and I honestly want to do this before the end of the year. So that is my challenge to myself. I could really use you guys to motivate me and also to keep me accountable. Make sure that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Because by the end of the year, before the end of the year, I want to go through and I want to look at the diamond paintings that I have. I'm going to de-stash some. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to look like yet, but we'll see. I am planning on the ones that I don't think I'll ever work on. I am going to definitely de-stash. And then the ones that I want to work on the most, I want to have maybe a top 10 that I really want to work on for next year. I thought about, I noticed that a lot of people are doing, or they did for this year, they did like the top 25 diamond paintings that they really want to work on. And I could do 26 for next year easily, but I don't know if I want to put that much pressure on myself, because then if I do that, then I'm going to feel like those are the only ones that I want to work on, which that definitely won't happen. So I'm not really sure. I keep going back and forth of how I'm going to actually do my diamond paintings, how with the storing and everything. One thing I am going to do, and my husband made this suggestion, and honestly, I didn't really think about it, but he works heavily with their inventory at his job, and he handles all the inventory for substation maintenance where he works and for the state. And so he was telling me what he did, or somebody told him, and he said it worked out really well. he had some magnet, they're like, they look like stickers, but they're actually magnets, and you can use a whiteboard marker. So it's kind of like, it's a whiteboard, but it's mini magnets. And so where I am putting my diamond paintings, where I'm storing them, it's metal, the metal shelves. So I can use these magnet labels. Couldn't think of the name there, I wanted to say for a minute. I can use these magnet labels, and then I can put a number on it. And then whenever I go and do my spreadsheet for my diamond paintings, then I can say like 1A or whatever I want to say. Or Diamond Art Club, I can say, you know, DAC 1 or, you know, whatever on that particular section of the shelf. And that way, whenever I want to do a diamond painting, I can just look on my spreadsheet, and then I can go directly to that shelf and I know where it is. And then once I start to reduce my diamond paintings, I wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But right now, I have a lot. And I want to keep most of them. It's going to be over 200. I know, I'm kind of scared. I want to keep most of those because when I do retire, and I am thinking, or my husband was telling me that I should retire when I'm, you know, I should retire by 65, that he thinks that we would have enough for retirement, and with my pension and everything, we kind of figured out that I'm going to be making more money not working than I am working. So I'm thinking that I'm not ready to retire. So I'm thinking, and I'm not old enough to retire yet, but I'm thinking I could either retire in the next couple of years if I wanted to, or I could retire in 5. So I'm probably going to wait for 5 years, and then I will have diamond paintings. So I don't want to get rid of a lot of my diamond paintings because I love them. And right now when I look at them and I'm thinking, I don't get to diamond paint that much. And I have all of these. I don't know if I'll ever get them finished or not, but when I retire, I should be able to. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I would love to hear how you do store yours. And I'm going back and forth. I mean, one day I say, well, I think that I want to store them with all of the same, you know, by company. And then from the company, then I want to go ahead and I want to do it by artist. But then I start thinking, well, I don't really have that many diamond paintings that I have multiple artists. I mean, I have some, but I would say less than 10, if even, probably more like 5 that I have multiples of. So I don't know if I want to do it that way, if I want to do it by theme. But then on some of them, they may have multiple themes. Or what if they don't have any theme? I mean, then what do I do? So maybe I am making too much out of it, but I only want to do this one time. That's going to take me this long. I also want to do it right. So I want to make sure that it's going to work. And then I also, one thing I know I'm going to do, which I started doing this years ago and then I kind of stopped, but I want to take all of the ones that do have stickers, I want to take all the stickers out, and I want to put those stickers in some kind of a binder. I've been doing this for a long time with Diamond Art Club, so I have those done, the older ones. The newer ones, I have bought something that I think is going to work perfectly for those. And then also the other ones, I've also purchased supplies that I need. So once I get this done, once I feel comfortable that it looks good and that it's what is going to work for me, I'm going to try it out, make sure that it works, and then I will share with you guys, if you're interested, on what I have decided to do. And I won't do all of it at one time. It is just going to be like a little bit each weekend. But I'm 80% happy with my craft room. And I still have some work to do in here. I still have a lot of cleanup I need to do. And so I'm not ready to show my craft room yet. But that is coming. I am going to show it eventually. A lot of these are taking the small ones. I'm glad that I bought the extra set of small ones. I haven't been using my Elizabeth Ward that much because I have 4 trays for my Beast diamond painting. And I wasn't going to use these because I thought they're going to be tied up for a long time, but decided to go ahead and do it because I did it by color, and I've never done it by color before, but it's actually working out really well on that diamond painting. I am very pleased with it. At first, took me a little while to figure out on some of the colors. It's like, okay, why did I put that color there? Where is it? And then once I figured it out, it's not bad. I want to show you guys that one as well. I'm going to do that once a quarter unless I get a lot done in a very quick amount of time, which I don't foresee that's going to happen, because it is the Beast, the higher self. It is a lot of color blocking, so you would think it would go faster. It does go pretty quickly for each section, but when you have 100 by 800 centimeters, and that is like 16 feet if we're talking US. So even though I'm making progress, I can't tell I'm making progress because it takes me forever to do one row. Just because of how long it is. It's huge. I'm thinking that when I'm on my winter break in December, I'm going to spend a lot of time on that one and see how much I can get done. I think that's going to be the way to go. So maybe by the end of December, you will be able to see that I have some progress. But at the end of September, I'm going to show you how much progress that I have. I was hoping to spend more time on it in September, but I have so many things that I'm doing right now. I don't know. I'm focusing on my 3 diamond paintings, and I really wanted to also include diamond painting shop in there as well for my Finera, but I think I'm going to start that one in October, work on my Finera, the one with the diamond art, as much as I can in September, and then add that one to it for October. I'm hoping to have a couple of finishes, and so that way that's going to help out a lot with my finishes. I think I will have at least, I'm hoping to have at least 2 finishes in September, if not 3. Right, I got 4 bags of 310. That is going to be just lovely. I honestly, I did not look, but I don't know if this is still available on Jade's website, but I'm sure that it is because she doesn't really retire paintings that much. And it's the 2024, I believe, but is there a number on here? It doesn't say if there's a number on here or not. And maybe on the box. I'll have to look and see. Oh, I didn't cut this very good. But I am doing a smaller canvas, and I could have finished that one up like over the weekend if I just focused on the one. But I thought I'm just going to do one row and then I'll do something else, because the diamond painting can last me until the end of October if I wanted it to, for the events I'm working on, except for one. And Cozy and Spooky, I think, is just for 1 month. But I'm hoping to get that one finished because I need some finishes. It is really sad. My goals are pretty pitiful, but I'm not going to worry about it. I did not do a August month in review. I kept going back and forth if I was going to do it or not. I thought, well, I could show you all my whips, but I didn't have any finishes. I was close to a finish. That's full. I was close to a finish, and I had 4 sections left, and I just didn't get to it. And I still have those 4. Well, I think I had 6 sections left. Now I have 4 left, so it's not horrible. So I should get that one finished. That's the plan. And then hopefully I can get my other one from Distracted Diamonds. Get that one finished. And then I can start on some more October. There are a couple that I have that are small that I really would like to get done this year, mainly because I've had a couple that were from Craft Ease. I've had those for years, and I would like to get to it. It would be kind of nice. And then November is when I start all my Christmas ones. Oh, this is not going to work. I'll put 225 in this one, and then 223 is going to need a bigger one. There's not much to 225. Sometimes I wonder that on some of these there's just not very many drills, and I always wonder, is it really worth it to only have very few handful of drills? But I always put them on there, so it may be for like highlighting or shadowing or something that's on here. I have no idea. And when I do finish this, I'm going to do a review on it. I'm going to show you guys when I do my whip parade. I don't know if I'm going to show this or not, just because it's a mystery, but let me know if you would like to see it. I don't know if this is going to fit in here. I can try it. I have a feeling I'm going to need a bigger one for this one. More than likely I am. I don't think this is not going to fit. Let me go ahead and go with a bigger one. So maybe this will fit in here. But let me know if you'd like to see this in my whip parade. And I'll just say, I'll do it, this is the last one, and I can say that, you know, this is a mystery. And I think Jade does these like every quarter or so. It's the Crafter's Den. And she has a group on Discord that's the Crafter's Den, and they do these mysteries. I was going to do it with them, and I didn't get mine till later last year, and then I was working on something else and just didn't get to it. And I have not ordered from Jade in a long time, and it's no reason why. It's just I have a lot of her kits. I need to work on some of hers before I buy more, and I'm kind of doing that as my motto too, is that if I have quite a few diamond paintings from a particular company, then just work on some more unless something comes out that I just absolutely have to have. And I haven't even gone on there, so I don't even know honestly what she has, because I know if I went on there I'd probably find something. let's see what all has happened in my neck of the woods. Weird thing really happened that has never happened to me before, and it made me really nervous. But I was leaving for work early. It was either Wednesday or Thursday of last week. It was early in the morning. I was leaving, and of all days, it was foggy too. I mean, it was very, very foggy. So I went out the back door of our garage. We have a side door, and so I went out the side door, and I went out. I heard this loud crash. I looked behind me, and the light bulb from the outside light, which is above our door, it fell. It wasn't, the light didn't fall, it was the light bulb. But the thing is, the light bulb portion is still intact. It is still on or in the fixture. It was the actual bulb itself, just the glass, that broke. Because I told my husband, and he said, well, you must have slammed the door. And I said, I did not slam the door. I closed the door very quietly because it was very early. It was like 6:30 in the morning. Paige was still asleep. I didn't know if my neighbors were up. I never slammed the door anyway. And I don't know what happened. And so I told him, I said, you know, it's a good thing that I wasn't right under there, or it could have hit me. I could have had glass on my hair. It could have cut me. I mean, who knows? And thank God it wasn't Paige. So when he got home, he looked at it and he's like, yeah, that is really weird, because he said the glass fell out, but he said the bulb, the light's still working. He said it still lights up. So, and he was even intrigued, and as I mentioned, he's an electrician, so he found that to be really odd. So he, I didn't clean it up because I wanted him to see it before, which is kind of stupid, but I wanted him to see what had happened before I cleaned it up. And so he went out there and got his shop vac and cleaned it up for me. And then he said, let's just not use this. He said, I think it's just the whole entire light is loose and it just happened to rattle. And so that's what happened. So now I'm very nervous when I go out the door of the front door. I'm like, well, I hope this doesn't happen either. But I thought that was just really strange. So has anything like that ever happened to you guys? I was just baffled. So then I was kind of nervous all morning, and then going to work, of course, even that early in the morning, traffic was awful. And it took me forever to get to work. So I was, you know, worried. I was upset about that. Not that I was going to be late or anything, but I didn't feel like being in traffic. And then, so I thought that was really odd. And then Madison had a doctor's appointment. I went to her with her doctor's appointment. That went very well. She has to go to the doctor more often now since it's getting closer to due date. So I went with her. This is not fitting in here right. Some of these that I'm using for the Elizabeth Ward, I think some of these are the fake ones. They don't fit in here as well. I did buy some from, I think that's from Amazon, that were okay. All right, this one is $7.54. And let's see. We also went to Madison's house for a little bit. She is going to be taking her NCLEX, which you have to take to become a certified nurse. And she's taken all the practice ones, and she has made close to 100% on all the ones that she's done. And she was just waiting because she got her name changed, which is really weird. But she got her name changed, and she had to wait on that. She had to wait on her Social Security for the name change. And then after that, she had to wait until she gets her driver's license. And so now she's filled everything out for her NCLEX. And they were asking for some weird stuff that she said they didn't ask for in South Dakota. when she was looking at the NCLEX there. But she knew that they were moving to Georgia, so she just wanted to wait. And she had to wait until she got her degree anyway, until she had gotten her diploma and her official transcripts. So she's going to be taking that, and then she's probably going to start looking for a job in January or February. That'll give her time to stay home with the baby and figure out what they're going to do. Her husband's talking about going to the night shift for a while where he is working, and so that way they will both be home. And then I can also help on days that I can work from home and I'm not doing a whole lot. So good vibes that she passes. I'm sure she'll do just fine. But she is not good with testing. She gets really nervous and anxiety ridden. And I know exactly how she feels because I do the same thing. I hate taking tests. I feel bad when I have to give my students exams because I hate taking tests so bad. But I think she'll do just fine. And Paige is working. She's loving her job again. That's definitely a plus. She loves to play games and video games. And so I don't know why all of a sudden, but she asked her dad if he still had the Wii and the Wii U from years ago when the kids were little. And so surprisingly he did. And so he brought it over to them, well, to her on Saturday, and then they went out to lunch, Madison and Kyle and Paige, and then their dad went out. I don't really need this big one. I don't think I have any more of the next size up. That's not gonna fit in there, I don't think. It might. Let me see if it'll fit in here. I may have to end up changing this out. But he brought the Wii U, and he said he brought both of them. Well, then when Paige opened the bag, she said the Wii's not in here. And so she had called him, and he looked, and he had forgotten to bring the other sack that the Wii was in. He still had all of their games, and it was really fun to reminisce because, I mean, Madison was like in the 5th grade, maybe 6th grade, not even 6th. I would say 4th or 5th grade it had to have been when they were playing the Wii U, because I remember that on one of them it was really hard and you had to really beat the controls. They ended up getting a spoon, like a tablespoon, and Madison would play that game, and she would beat the controls with the spoon, and that's how they ended up getting past that one level. And a lot of times they couldn't do it, and so they had to get their dad. She would get stuck, her hand would get really tired. Paige could never do it, and so their dad ended up doing it because I couldn't get it either. And so that one was in there. And then there was actually a game that was in the Wii. And they hadn't played the Wii since like 2010. So I thought that was really funny. And it still works. Both of them actually still work. And I don't know why she wanted these, like these two systems, because she has about everything else. But that's what she wanted. And so luckily he had it, and now she wants to buy some more games. I'm like, you're not going to keep buying all these games, and it's getting close to Christmas. So she is so easy to buy for. You buy her a game and all is good. It's just we don't know which one she wants. Let's see. Okay, I've got this one. So she's doing really well. She's having fun with her gaming system, and she's telling me, you remember this when we did this, and we were at this room in the house. I mean, she was really getting into it. Like, yes, I do remember. It just kind of brings back a lot of memories. And then I got out my scrapbook and showed them when they were playing. So they both thought that was really cool. This is going by a lot faster than I thought it was going to. I did post a video on Friday, and it was unboxing a first look at a new limited, it's a limited edition of for the Panera event. So if you have not seen that, check that out. And it's only until the end. I think they're only going to offer it until the end of the event, I believe. So if you want that, make sure that you order that sooner rather than later. I don't know if they have a limited number. I don't think so, because they usually wait and they make made to order, but I'm not sure on that one because you don't have a choice of square or round, and you don't have a choice of size. So they may have just made those, and then once they're gone, they're gone. I am really not sure. I'm not in on any of that, but I did a first look. She is absolutely beautiful, and I was going to start on that one today, but I don't really want to start on a diamond painting while I am doing a whip and chat, just because I like to think about, before I get started, I like to make sure that my first few rows are straight, and I don't know where all of the symbols are. And so I also want to look at that one, see if I have any special drills that I can add to it. And I haven't had time to do that yet. So I will do that one next week. Uh-oh, this one's stuck. I'll do that one next week, and I'll work on it during the week. I will show you my update, and then from next week on, I will diamond paint that one while I'm doing the whip and chat. I am loving our weather here. I am so happy. It doesn't look like that our weather is going to get high again. If it does, I'll be kind of disappointed. But last night we were sitting outside. It was very breezy, which made it feel colder, but it was so nice. And we sat outside and just, I diamond painted for a little bit, and then it's getting darker here earlier too. So it gets dark here around 7:30. Not completely, but by 10 till 8, I can't see a thing. So I can't diamond paint anymore while we're sitting outside, which I do miss that. But it actually got chilly. My husband was wearing shorts. He went in and he put on a sweatshirt. I don't think he ever changes shorts, but I figured he'd put on sweats, but he didn't. But he had his sweatshirt on, and then there was me, which is kind of embarrassing. But I had on jeans. I had on a t-shirt, a hoodie, and I had on socks, and I also had a blanket. And he's like, it's like 68 out here. And I'm like, well, it doesn't feel like 68 because of the wind. I would have been perfectly happy with a hoodie at 68, and I didn't need a blanket and all that, but it actually was cold with the wind blowing. And then he did finally acknowledge, yeah, with the wind blowing, it is a little chilly out here. But he wouldn't admit, if he was freezing and if he was turning blue, he wouldn't have admitted that he was cold. Just because I was so bundled up and he was making fun of me. But it's been so nice. We even opened our windows for a short time. We have to be really careful because of the cat. So I locked her up in our bedroom, and I opened up our dining room windows and our den windows for a very short time. There are the few windows too that we also have screens on. When we bought this house, they didn't have screens on all the windows, so that's also on our to-do list. But it was so nice. And I probably could have been okay and had the window open with her looking out the window, but I just don't trust her. I was a little worried. Think how many larger ones I'm going to need. This one's a small one. That's one aspect of the Elizabeth Forward where I like it so much, is that you can customize it. I want everything to fit in this one tray, and with only these few colors, there should not be a problem. That one had a little bit of static in it. Not bad, but the other ones have not been bad at all. And I can't say it's because they've been sitting for a long time, because have had kits that I have recently opened that have been around for 3+ years and they're loaded in static. But I think too that with these types of bags, usually I don't have as much static, but Diamond Art Clubs are like this, and I have static with them. So I'm not really sure, but I am happy with it. I don't care. I also have had an air purifier that is in my craft room, and I've had it on. It's putting moisture. It helps with the moisture, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. It's not as dry down here, so I'm not really sure, but I don't care. No static, I'm good with it. All right, 209. I still have a few more to go, so I shouldn't talk too loud. Then the static police are going to come after me and say, yep, now I'm going to show you. All right, let's see. I think this is going to fit. This may fit in here. There's just not that many drills. I hope that I don't run out. I'm pretty confident these are Ever Moment drills. I mean, I have no idea, but I think based on when I bought Ever Moment, they look just like this. And I bought a lot of those. So if I run out, I think I'll have enough. And I could contact Jade, but I don't know how long it would take for me to get replacements. And I haven't ran out. I've done a few of her kits. I have not ran out before that I recall. Hopefully I won't on here either. I'm going to have to rearrange these and put them in order, in symbol order, because working on a mystery, the canvas is just black, no color, and there's no color on the drills or the symbols, the stickers, and I'm gonna have to have this in order. And I can only work on this for so long, and then the black and white symbols start to bother me, because I tried doing that with a Josephine Wall, the one with the diamond art, and I tried twice, 2 different canvases. I did a smaller one, and then I tried several times on both the canvases that I had. I would always get these terrible migraines, and then realized the common denominator was me working on that canvas. But this one's not really huge, and so I should be okay. And it's not, there's not a lot of different symbols. The one with the diamond art, I think it was 300 colors. It's at least 200. I think it was close to 300 colors. And so I had a little bit of a problem with that because of so many colors that it really bothered me. All right, I have another large one. I gotta find another large. I know I've got one somewhere. There's that one. These two are huge. So now I've got 3 large ones that I need. I want all of these to go in containers. These 2 are small. I can put those in the small ones. I haven't really done a mystery canvas. I mean, I've started one that was a J-wall. I had just done maybe one small section, and then one of my subscribers really wanted one, couldn't find it, and she was doing it for a tribute for her mom, and so I'm like, you can have it. I have so many J-walls, and I am fine with it. And that was years ago. And then the only other one that I've done or started on was that large one, and I was starting to enjoy it. So I think with this one being small, it's going to be a lot easier for me, I hope. Okay, I've got 3550. That's not a small, extra small, but it's more like a small or a medium. I'll put that one in here. I can have some larger ones now if I need to. I do need to see. And if you heard that loud moan, that is Molly. She's just so exhausted. She moans like an old lady. It's just hilarious. 3350. I don't think old ladies moan like she does. But she's just tired. Her and the cat have been playing all day, which is really funny to watch them play. Molly's still scared of her, but they play really well together. But when she tries to touch Molly, Molly doesn't like it. But until she tries to touch her, it's all good. Because Molly's afraid she's gonna get her claws out and gonna swat her. All right, let's see now. I've got this one that can go in one. I have 2 3722s. So that's gonna need to go in a medium, I think. And then, this is one that can go by itself, and then these 2 are small. Okay, so I think what I'll do here is I will put these 2 in the smaller containers. These are really pretty fall colors. I don't know what it is. All I want to do is work on fall. I am just really into fall, and the weather has been so nice to me. Give me all these fall vibes. Told my husband I'm ready to go get some firewood and have a fire. He just looked at me and shook his head. I'm like, yeah, I know it'd be kind of hot, but that's okay. We need to test out our fireplace. We haven't done that yet. We have someone coming over that's a chimney sweep in our area. They're going to come and they're going to check it out, make sure there's not any problems with it, and if they need to, they're probably going to need to clean it. I cannot imagine that the people that owned this house before us, that they cleaned it. They probably didn't even use it. I know they used it some, but I don't think that it's as much as we usually use the fireplace. So we are going to get that checked soon, and we did not bring the firewood. We had just a little bit left anyway. My husband bought a lot of firewood like 3 years ago, and we had just used the majority of it last winter. We had a lot of fires last winter, and now we're gonna need to go and get some more firewood. But we don't want to do that until we make sure that it is usable, and we really hope so. We checked when we were looking for houses. We would check and make sure that the fireplace looked operational, and that it was a wood burning fireplace, and if it wasn't, if it could be converted. That was like a must. Oh, an update on, for those of you that have been following me for a while, we have had the hardest time with getting a deck screened in, a top put on it and a deck screened in. We're getting closer. The structural engineer gave us his little stamp, $700 for a little stamp that took him about 5 minutes, and he used our rendering for it. But anyway, that was done, and then our contractor really liked, he had some minor changes. The contractor agreed to the change that the structural engineer said, and then he submitted the paperwork again to the county, and the county sent our contractor an email on Friday and said that they want to have a pre-construction meeting, and they're doing that, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. It's between the contractor and our city. We don't have to be there. And our contractor said it's the craziest thing. He said, because you'd think that we were building a huge deck or building, you know, something, some kind of other enclosure adding onto our house or something, the way that they are acting. But he said that it sounds like they just want to talk to him, make sure everything is good, and then he will be able to schedule us and then start the deck. So I was telling my husband, I said, yeah, maybe we will have a screened in deck by the end of the year. And he said, yeah, if we're lucky. And I said, oh yeah, we'll get it, and it'll be snowing, and we'll just be outside bundled up, getting a heater, trying to get warm and sitting out, because we're determined we are going to sit on our screened in porch, our deck, sometime this year. So our luck, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be towards the end of the year, and we're going to be out there just shivering, drinking coffee, and watching snow, because we are going to get out there. I don't care how cold it is. We're going to get out there. We may not stay out there very long, but we have gone through so much to get a deck. So we will definitely enjoy it. And because it's screened in, we can't use, we were hoping we would be able to use like one of those outdoor, use an outdoor heater that uses, you know, gas. Well, we can't do that because of, we're going to have a top on it. So that's not going to happen. I don't know if these two are going to fit. Right, I have all of these left. I don't think this is going to, I know this is going to fit in here. I'm going to have to use some larger ones. I think this will be okay, but I don't think those other two will. This may even fit in a small one. I have plenty of room now, so it really doesn't matter. But if I want to use my Elizabeth Ward containers again before I finish this one, then I want to have as many of the ones that I really don't need right now available. I do have these special drills here that I need to put in. These are going to go in small ones. Oh, these are really pretty. I'm not going to even think about adding additional specials to this, because since it is a mystery, but if I can see it really well, I guess I could. There's already 4. There's already 4 special drills in here, so I really don't know if I need more. If I start working on it, and I might decide that's what I want to do. I have gotten so bad, you guys, about my logbook. I have got to take time to work on my logbook and get it in some kind of order. It is terrible. The ones that I have kitted up, I've started on, I have not put them in there. I don't want to forget what they are. And I do like to put notes in there if something happens while I'm working on it, or if I have to change something, I like to go ahead and put it in there so I'll know what it is. That is gorgeous. I don't think I've ever seen pixie dust in this color. This one does have a little bit of static, but this is 152, and it's like the sparkle dust or pixie dust. I don't know what Jade calls it. Everybody calls it something different. Let's go to 152. It is so pretty. I just don't remember ever seeing this one. I have some of those left over. And then I have this one. This is G436. These look more like crystals. That's really pretty. Looks more like crystals than... I think it is. It is crystals. That's really pretty. I wonder where this is going to go. I hope I have some of these left too, because I have gold and I have purple. And I am loving both of these. Let's see. The dogs are doing great, or the dog is doing great. Molly is, she's still extremely nervous. We were outside and she was out there. She was playing and running around, and it started thundering and she just started shaking all over. My husband actually got nervous and he's like, what is happening to her? He said, I've never seen a dog do that before. And I said, she is just nervous. She is shaking from hearing the thunder. And it wasn't even really that bad. It was off in a distance. And he said, I have never seen a dog like her. We've got to find out what we can do to help her. So we were, you know, petting her. And once we start petting her and loving on her, then she's fine. But she was just shaking. It was just so sad. And as she's gotten older, she's gotten worse. I thought she would get better, but she has gotten worse instead of better. And she wasn't like this until we lost Zoe. And then once Zoe passed away, it's just, she hasn't been the same. And we don't want to get another dog. So that's kind of where we are there. Is this 208? Yes. We just don't want to get another dog. We're getting older, and I'm afraid the dog may outlive us, possibly. I don't know. All right, so now I need to go and see if I can't hunt down 3 larger ones. This definitely is going to need a large. This one probably. This one could go with a larger medium. Okay, so now I have 2 left. Kind of straightened up a little bit too. I have 3. I do have 3, so all's good. So now I have 915. I am so spoiled now with my funnels. I am just really spoiled with them. Because it just makes it so easy. It took me a little bit, so kind of a learning curve on this one, because sometimes I would raise up the actual container and sometimes I wouldn't. And if you don't raise it up, I have found that at the top they have like little rungs here, and if you don't raise it up enough, then when you go to pour it, it goes everywhere. It doesn't just go into your container, it just goes everywhere because it has more room on the sides. And then once I figured that one out, then I thought this is really easy. It took me a minute. Okay, 9:15. I heard from my sister the other day. She's been really busy too. She said August was really crazy for her and her family. She had to take her daughter to school. And so that's a long haul for them, and get her set up in her dorm and everything. She may come here for Thanksgiving. I'm not sure, but we are going to go to Madison's. We've always had Thanksgiving here, and we thought, Madison invited us. She said, why don't we just have it at our house, at their apartment? They actually have more seating than we do. Their table is smaller than ours, but they have a huge, it's very nice kitchen, and they have a breakfast bar. Paige loves sitting on the breakfast bar, so I thought that would be really good. We could do that. And then also the baby will be born by then, and it'll just be easier. She won't have to get the baby out, and we can just go over there. She's like 10-15 minutes away. And so I told Madison that her auntie may be here, and if so, can she come over too? And I knew that she would say yes. And she said, of course she can. And I said, well, I doubt that she'll be able to, because, you know, she has family too. And she said she wanted to come. That was at Madison's wedding. I said, well, I can change then, because that was in May. So we'll see. It'd be really nice to have her here. Then she can see the baby. I don't know if her husband's family will be coming. I know that his mom is planning on coming the first week of November. So I told Madison, I said, hopefully the baby will be born. She should be. They said that that the baby is running about a week younger than what they were saying for Madison's due date, but they're saying they're not concerned, that she looks good, everything's fine. Baby may just feel a bit smaller. So they may even want to keep her an additional week if she goes past her due date, just because of that. Okay, I am done. Ta-da! I am so excited. This was so easy to kit up, guys. It took me a little bit because there's so many, and then I had to put all of the extra washi on here because I'm not going to be that person that I was before. I still have some that I really need to go through and clean up, but it looks good. So look how pretty that these colors are. I am loving these colors. It's just screams fall. So I definitely will be working on this one soon. Please let me know if you would like to see this. I can always put something at the end, you know, to beware, and it is a mystery, and I'm going to reveal it. So let me know if you would definitely like to see this. I will be glad to show it. And if you have not subscribed, I would love to have you here. Before you leave, please click on that like button and also the notification bell, because YouTube is not sending out notifications like they used to. So I'd hate for you to miss a video, especially if you're interested in a particular subject. But until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye.